So I have with me this stone, and it's just a simple white stone, which has been transformed to stand for something much more. And on it is written the word survival, along with some simple illustrations of some fish, stars and water. But why I carried this to Iceland with me from Ireland, that's another matter. In 2014, I opened an exhibition, and this was to be my return to the world of arts creation after a few years of a gap. And as part of that exhibition, I asked the audience to participate by taking a white stone, pretty much exactly like this one, and expressing on it what creativity had meant to them in their lives. And the response was really inspiring. It had everything from speaking without words to magical, freedom, liberation, survival, a new way to see. And it actually had a really huge impact on me, as it caused me to realise that my suspicions were correct, that creativity and creative expression held a really dear space in the hearts of those people who had participated in the project. But on the other hand, it also caused me to realise that there was many stones that remained blank. No one had ventured close to express themselves. And this is something that stayed with me for a few weeks and months afterwards. And at first I reflected it back on myself and I thought, okay, maybe the project was stupid. Or maybe people didn't have an opinion on the matter. And then I kind of came to the conclusion that maybe people were afraid to express themselves. And that worse still, maybe people were afraid to be seen expressing themselves for fear of judgment of what other people might think. You know, for me, creativity it's an incredible potential and it's a gift that we all have. And it's not something which should be reserved specifically for artists. It's like this muscle, and the more we exercise it, it becomes stronger and more relevant in our day-to-day lives. It's a valuable method and tool for expression, and in some cases it can actually liberate the mind itself. And I've come to realise over the years that it's not so important what you do with your creativity, but it's the actual taking part in the creative process where the real value lies. Creativity is not necessarily taking a class or going and learning some artistic medium. Instead, I'm actually suggesting that you find your own flow with something. So instead of learning how to play an instrument and taking a class in guitar, for example, I'm suggesting that you actually just go and find a guitar, pick it up and strum and see what happens. When it comes to bedtime story, then you, with your child, you can make up and use your imagination and come up with this beautiful imaginative tale which really stimulates your child's imagination, instead of grabbing that generic bedtime story book that everybody has. You can actually just go to the fridge and pull out all the ingredients and mix-mash them together and develop your own tastes and styles with your cooking and just get rid of the cookbook altogether. And if you take a class in drawing a nude figure, you could instead just let yourself free flow out into a page and see how you see the body in your own individual way. And that could be abstracted, surreal or realist. There are no rules. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about creativity. I'm actually talking about these pure moments of presence. You know, they're organic, they're rich, they're intuitive, they're free-flowing, you're thinking on your feet, you're not afraid to try something new. And it's not this learning of a skill, because that can be picked up at any time. So creativity it just has this incredible potential to take us out of ourselves and allow us to look at everything from a different perspective. And given what's going on in the world around us at the moment, I think it's actually more important than ever. If we look at things today, we can see that the individual has been mass-marketed. Everything, clothes, food, technology, cars, lifestyle, everything has been commodified, but yet we're told we're free. But I certainly question if we are. You know, many of us as individuals, we have ideas, but then we squash them. We don't follow through with them. We'd go, oh, that's stupid, I can't do that. And then instead we find ourselves selling our time in exchange for monetary compensation. And I often find myself questioning whether we're locked within this chains of what this consumerized model offers us as freedom. And you know, we live in this world which is filled with these boxes, countless nice, safe, compartmentalized little boxes. And sure, we align ourselves to them. Sure, we identify with them. They make us feel safe and secure and part of the pack. But I'm really questioning whether they're actually holding us back. You know, the mass populace, they tend to not break free from the flock creatively. They tend to follow trends, remain distracted, and nobody really dares to be different. And I think this is something that right now, as the boxes, they're crumbling at our feet on a daily basis at the moment. And I really think our individual creativity, this is our moment that it needs to shine. We need to start embracing it. I see us as these vastly intelligent beings, and I actually do believe that it's not too late, that we still have everything that we need to fix things. We have it in our hands, in our heads, in our hearts. And we need to just draw on this. And we need to find the space where we can. But it's like the Stones project. If all this is just there waiting for us, I'm finding myself questioning now, why aren't we doing it? And why are we holding ourselves back? And exactly like the Stones project, I've come to the conclusion that it's fear. So it's not just one fear, it's actually many fears. It's fears of expressing ourselves, fears of being seen, fears of standing out from the crowd, fears of not making ends meet, fears of succeeding, and fears of failure as well. And it's all these incredible fears which are kind of keeping us step back. So if we choose to embrace our creativity and embrace our creative path, then it is, make no mistake, it is stepping across a fear of epic proportion. I like to see it like an unlocking of the locks. And creativity has this ability of problem resolution attached to it, because generally when we come up with a creative idea, it's not something we've thought of before. So we need to develop it, and we need to nourish it and allow it to flourish. And in doing that, and in being part of that process, we discover something so amazing, even though it's not a masterpiece, and even though it's not going to be what you thought it was going to be. But what you find there is that you're capable of doing more than you thought you were capable of doing yesterday. And the more you go into this, and on a daily basis, the more you push yourself out of your comfort zone, the more this increases, and the more this can change your life and enhance your life in countless ways. It's an absolutely incredible thing. And creativity is this, it greets you in every frame of mind that you're in. And no matter if you're happy, sad, angry, depressed, you can tap it at any stage. And you can use it to help you through a process or discover something new about yourself. So just to take you on an example with me, a few years ago I found myself at a remote lake in the Midlands of Ireland, and I had headphones on and I was listening to my music. And as I was listening to my music, I felt my body just wanted to start to dance to the rhythm. And the lake was abandoned, there was nobody there. But the most interesting thing was I was paralyzed. My body wasn't doing anything. And no matter how much I tried to tell it to, nothing was happening. And this was something that actually really frightened me. And I realized that something was blocking me and that I needed to unlock it in some way. So I took upon myself to take up something creative every day for the next couple of weeks. And so just kind of investigate to see what happened. And as I did this, I did everything from drawing on a page to going out in nature, singing in the shower, writing some words down. I mean, absolutely everything, cooking, dressing a little bit creatively. I probably did force myself back to the lake to dance. There was just so many things that I tried. And as I did this, the blocks dissolved. My confidence increased, and the projects I took on a daily basis, they became more daring and personally challenging. And as I was pushing myself out of my comfort zone, I was realizing I was expanding my horizons every day. And this has a hugely important impact on us. And often though, you hear, or many people have said to me certainly over the years, I can't do that, I'm not creative, I'm not an artist, it's not for me. But actually, in truth, creativity belongs to us all. It's something we all have. And there are certainly moments and times in life where, verbal expression is not the most appropriate way to deal with something. And I can tell you that for certain, this is why I started walking the path as an artist. Because for me, my creativity has come to my aid on so many different occasions. And it's provided me this space, this safe space, to deal with situations, people and events that I couldn't hope to deal with in any normal manner. In fact, most of my childhood I actually spent like this, walking around the house. Or I was in hours of dialogue with myself as many different characters. I used to drive my family nuts. And I was using my creativity and my imagination as a way to escape, a way to access another reality, because I didn't want to be where I was. And I grew older and I started to analyze it a little bit, and I saw what I was doing, and with that I kind of consciously shifted my approach. And so instead of now using my creativity as a way to run and hide, I actually began to stand firm and express myself. And this is what led, I guess, to me becoming an artist in the first place. And I've come to realize, I've been practicing as an artist for about a decade now, and I've come to realize that it has this role and responsibility that I have to express myself honestly and openly and often. And that's what I'm here to do. But it's not only what I'm here to do as an artist, it's what I'm here to do as a person. It's what we're all here to do. And, creativity it's something that's within us, and we're all this unique sum of all of our own experiences. So what you guys have is vastly different from everybody else here. And we're all this unique sum of experiences. And so we can all tap things and approach things from different aspects. And that is incredibly important. And I really feel that given the world at the moment and just life at the moment and the way it is, that our freedom of expression is the actual only freedom that we have. And I see it as one of the most valuable things that there is. And creativity, you don't have to do anything big and grand and extreme. You can actually do anything from, you can be in your garden, you can decorate your home in a specific way, how you communicate with your family, how you work with the imagination of your children and kind of cause it to grow and nurture it. Or in your community, you can engage yourself with social things that are going on. You can pass political commentary, or you can involve yourself in protest in a creative way. You can use it on a personal level to release some psychological, emotional trauma, or if there's something you just can't process out in a normal way, you can put it into a painting. You don't even have to think about it, you just let yourself flow and it'll come out. And maybe it is a case of survival in these days, that we do really need to think about how we're approaching creativity and ideas, and how we look at other people when they have ideas, and that maybe we should really begin to nourish this in people. Because this could be the make or break for all of us. And creativity has this ability to take us out of ourselves and our world and let us see things from a different angle. And you might just be surprised to find that we might find some solutions there. And as you wander along this path using your creativity, I guarantee you will find an aspect of yourself that you might not know existed, and is going to be very happy to see you. I'm very happy that you're finally coming to let it speak and voice itself and be present. We don't control how long we're here for or what happens to us. But what we do control is how we get to express that out, and how we get to mark our time and space here. And creativity, I see it as our toolbox, as a way we can dip into it when we have an issue that we need to resolve, or there's a problem, or we need to look at things from a new angle, or sometimes we just need to lighten the load and make things a little fun for a while. And definitely creativity is that toolbox for that. But the most important thing that I want you to remember is that you guys are all potential works of art. And creativity is a choice that we all participate. We choose to participate and to engage creatively with the world or not. So that choice is down to you. Thank you.